All right. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the
Say it
Brahmas
again.
Bulletin. Thank you all so much for watching and tuning in. You guys
Can
Hot
I
have
have
mic.
a
somebody?
very
I don't even think I'm
special
gonna be there.
treat for y'all. Very special treat for y'all
I
tonight.
got.
We
I
have
coach football. So
Hot mic, DJ. Hot mic.
Mike.
You gotta mute him. Good lord.
There he is.
There we go.
Gee whiz.
Just like our shows.
That's
Yep.
right. That's right. Just
So
like
We can never do nothing good.
can't
Dang.
never do
Hey,
nothing
we're
right.
professionals, all right.
Guys,
Uh,
welcome to the disaster that is the Horns Forward podcast.
that's
Right. We
Look,
love you guys to death.
we're still gonna have one rolling in late, so
Eventually.
making his
God.
grand entrance.
All
So-
right. Well, there is absolutely no need for an introduction. You guys know them and you love them. They are the one, the only members of the Horns Forward podcast.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Thank you all.
hey, that's a
guys,
good
for
intro. That's a good
joining
intro.
me. I greatly appreciate it very much.
It's much better than the oh yeah, I coach football. That intro didn't work very well.
I know, my fault, man. I ain't even know. I thought I was muted because the thing was counting down. So yeah, my fault. It's all good though. All love, you know.
All love, baby. All love.
All right. And I'm also joined by my co-host there, XFL Mike G. How you doing, Mike?
How's it going?
What up,
Pretty
Mike?
good. I don't think we shared it correctly.
It's a work in progress. Hey, we had our hiccups.
Yeah, we
Oh, yeah.
sure did.
yeah.
We sure did.
We just showed how great we are with intros.
Well, and Brian and I were so bad that we had to do it on two different shows to figure out how messed up we were. So if that gives you any hope, man, you'll be fine. I promise you.
Oh,
Oh, we'll
great.
get it squared away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir.
Absolutely. Yeah, we sure will. So I want to start off, guys, with it's the final cuts are this weekend. Some teams have already announced them, such as the DC Defenders, the Arlington Renegades, and the Houston Roughnecks announced them today. So according to James Larson, Wade Phillips has said that the roster cuts will be happening tomorrow morning. So who do you all have as your dark horse for making the team?
Wow.
Oh,
Good question.
I'm just more scared of my guys not making it because the
Right.
talent is so good.
We
I
got
mean-
we got stabbed in the heart by Beasley, so I don't know if I want to see this next one.
Yeah, I don't.
Look
I don't
at
even
that
wanna
long
think about
old.
that.
Did you see that long old name he has under his? Good lord.
Oh, we're gonna
I
do
think-
that, huh? All right.
I think we only cutting 7 players because I think we have 57 right now. So
Yeah.
going to 50.
Yep.
Mhm.
So who's your dark horse? That was the
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
I think all of the players that we know are probably going to be, on the team. I think it's going to be maybe some players that, barely made it and, like not really known, like just barely making a roster type players. But the players that we know are probably going to make it.
So, are you talking about like who are the dark horse to make the team that we don't think is going to make the team?
Correct.
Or-
Yeah.
Okay, so initially, before I realized that we have to have 3 quarterbacks, I was gonna say probably Tom Flacco. But we have to have 3 quarterbacks, so he has to make the team.
You don't have a choice.
But honestly, I don't know how the linemen have been because all we've seen is really what they show from
Social media.
from like social media and stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say one of the dark horses that I would like to see make the team is one of the guys that is there from UTSA.
Yeah, local. Local boys.
I'd like to see because I know they got Corey Mayfield from UTSA, and there's another one. What's his name?
They have a kid from isn't it UIW?
They do
Yeah.
have a UIW
Yeah,
also.
they have a
Yeah.
couple
Yep.
local.
That's Marcus Cooper, running back. Should be.
Yeah.
And then, so Trevor, you said Trevor already, right? The linebacker from UTSA. Thought there was another one. Here we go. Corey Mayfield, defensive back, UTSA.
Right.
Yeah,
there's one more. Canadian, I think.
Micah Smith, defensive back, Incarnate Word.
Mm-hmm.
Who else we got? I think that's it. So we got 4 local kids. Oh, well, then we've got a kid from Baylor also. I just saw Jordan Williams, linebacker.
And they just signed a guy from Baylor too. I think yesterday or the other day. I think he was a corner. Can't remember his name.
Right.
But
Yeah,
that UIW running back might not make it.
Yeah, well, there's a linebacker
Probably
from
not.
Incarnate Word that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name. Well,
Do it.
maybe I'll attempt to.
You won't.
You won't.
Eddie
won't.
Lebecky?
Ooh.
Who the what? What'd you call me?
The who with the what?
Eddie Lebecky?
What'd you call my mom?
Uh-huh.
It's, by the way, folks, this is not, I mean, this is what we do. We're all interesting story. Before the season, before like all of this started, we honestly did not know each other. And you have seen how close we've grown just because of the podcast and our love of football. Like we truly are.
Yeah.
We hang out, we spend time together, and yes, we track each other just like this pretty much every day.
Right.
So, anyways, dark horse for making it. Man, if I could see, there's so many unknowns. Man, that's such a tough question. I do hope Dormady makes it. Just because, again, I mean, that's a local kid too.
Oh, he has to though, because we need 3 quarterbacks.
He's gonna be QB1. I think he's a starter.
Do you really? Okay. I'd like to see him have a shot, right? Because he did not do so well in Orlando last year.
Well, when he got to play, I think he did fairly well.
He had one really good game, and then he pretty much played like the rest of the Orlando quarterbacks for the rest of the year.
And he kind of was reminding me a lot of Cone in the sense where, you know, he had the scandal, he was off the field for a little bit, but then he came back, and you know, I say right in the middle of the season, Jack Cone got the yips, which just, you know, as a player sucks, but at the last 3 games of the season, the dude balled out, and I see Dormady kind of he did the same thing, and so it seems like Garbers has given him a run for his money. I think people had pegged Quentin Dormady to be the starting quarterback, but you know, who knows? I mean, I think maybe he might have a little bit of an edge because he realizes I'm playing in front of my home crowd. So I got to make sure that, you know, I step it up because I can't lose out to somebody who's not even from here kind of thing. So, you know, there is that mental aspect of it as well, I would think.
Oh, hell, Jackie's waving the fingers. You don't even have it up. He's waving it.
What do you think that maybe Coach will do kind of what he did with Houston where he was alternating the quarterbacks?
It depends on the offense, really. I mean,
it
really depends on the offense.
I think we'll see it like the first few games. I think he's going to test them out. Probably. You wouldn't think so?
I can see
to
that.
see them like live in action. The first couple games, maybe.
Nah, that's what training camp's for. I wouldn't do that because you need consistency at quarterback. If you start having a quarterback, I mean, unless you have one that'll give it away. You have one that can run, one that can throw, and well, if Garbers can run and Dormady can throw, then whenever Garbers,
I mean, he did it last season. So.
Yeah, that's kind of how they did with Silvers and McDonald last year.
Yeah,
they sure did.
Yeah, but you got to really remember, you know, this is they've got a whole other
AD,
teams
get some glasses ready for me.
The other years have had a whole year of studying the Wade Phillips offensive scheme that it's very likely that they've already picked it up and they've learned from it. That's usually what happens. Look at what happened to when the Wildcat offense came out. It was like people were like, oh my God, what do we do? Within a year, it was dead because people had studied it and they figured out the weaknesses and how to stop it. You got to have the right personnel for that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So the next question I have for y'all is, I like to go around the horn and get everybody's predictions for like your season record. So we'll start with you, Jay. What is your season record prediction for the Brahmas?
Of course, you guys already have me on record as saying we're going to win it all, right? We're going, 10-0, perfect. Well, I guess it would be 12-0, perfect season. We're not going to lose a single game. We're going to destroy everybody that we come up against. You can bet that we're going to beat St. Louis by double digits because ain't nobody scared of no battle chickens. All right. But
Battle
the truth of the matter is we're probably, the way I see the team going, we're probably going to go 7-3 or 8-2 in the regular season. I know we're going to get into the playoffs. And I do believe that it's probably going to wind up being us in the championship game against probably either Birmingham, maybe Memphis pulls off a Houston, or I'm in Arlington, like Arlington did last year, and sneak in the very tail end. But it's one of those two. I don't see Michigan getting in, and I definitely don't see. As much as I'd like to, Houston is a brand new team, new coach. Half the roster is the old gamblers. The other half is this mismatch thing. I know the coach has a lot of energy and he's really excited about it, but I just don't see them making the playoffs either. So that's what I'm seeing. 7-3, 8-2. Brahmas winning it in St. Louis.
All right.
It's pretty bold.
All right. Who's
Hey
next?
man, I am bold. What do you
You know
expect?
what? I'm gonna say 8-2 and a championship. I don't care who we're playing in that.
That's what I like to hear. All right, Mike, you're up.
I'm between 7-3 and 8-2. Definitely making the playoffs. Definitely making it a championship game. From there, I'll just leave it up in the air from there. But that's where I'm at. I don't like the fact that some of these odd makers are discounting the Brahmas. I mean, they've got us ranked lower tier, like number 7,
Ridiculous.
number 5,
number
6.
We're last as far as like odds. We're last. So
Plus 1,400.
I think they're
or
still
1,300.
using the Heinz Ward scale.
Yeah.
Plus 1,300.
Oh, wait. Where'd you see plus 1,500? I want some of them odds.
Oh, plus 1,300. Plus 1,300.
Oh, 13.
Yeah.
Okay. Because on DraftKings, we're 1,400. On what is that one we were
FanDuel?
talking about earlier?
FanDuel.
Yeah.
FanDuel, it was 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I might be coming into a little bit of money at the end of the season. I'm just saying.
All right, DJ, who do you have? What do you have?
I'm going with the bet. I'm going with the odds. I'm putting my money down on the 1,300. So I don't know record. I mean, I just know I'm putting my money on the 1,300. Hoping we win. So that's a good thing.
Let's go.
All right.
All right, Jackie.
I'm literally like BD. That was literally my thought. Going with 8-2 championship. No matter who we play, we taking it.
It don't matter. Ain't nobody's business. The championship is ours.
Period.
And the official, the unofficial official mascot of the Brahmas. Who do you have?
I'm gonna be bold with it, and I'm gonna say 9-1. I think we're gonna split the series with DC. DC's gonna get a win either here or there. I don't know, but people are sleeping on the Brahmas for sure. Like they don't understand what is being done. But I feel the same is happening to Michigan. In all fairness, I think people are sleeping on the Panthers and people are counting out the Brahmas, but I don't see us losing to any of the USFL teams. I think the one that will give us the biggest battle is going to surprisingly be, for most people, Michigan. I really don't think that I think we're going to see for the home opener, and I'm not just saying this because you guys know how I feel about the Renegades, but I think we're really going to see a toilet bowl, and I think the game to watch is really going to be the DC San Antonio game.
Sure.
Real quick, how do you guys feel about that? The injury, that big injury to DC's running back Abraham.
Ooh.
How
a
does that
heartbreaker.
change the game plan for us?
That's going to hurt them a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
That just allows us to put more pressure on the air game.
Mm-hmm.
Which we already know. I mean, Tommy likes to rely on his legs a lot. So definitely we'll put pressure on him to have to force him to throw. And it goes back to the cuts that we made. If we're cutting people who are like Drew Beasley, who was known to be a terrorizer in the backfield, whoever is there in his place, good luck to the quarterback who's got to run.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say on our show, that's when Jay has something to say, right?
We have adopted it. The finger.
Jorge, love you to death.
Oh.
I'm not
Here it
scared
comes.
of a team that snuck into the playoffs at 4-6. Okay. So that was their record last year.
Neither
Michigan
am I.
Panthers. Right.
You talking about the Panthers? I thought you were talking about the Renegades. I was like,
No,
you got scared of the Renegades? Come on now.
No, you would still trash talk no matter what. The two teams that I again would be Birmingham 8-2, right? They destroyed. Memphis Showboats did not make the playoffs, but they were 5-5. So
Birmingham lost a lot though. So
Birmingham lost 2. How's that a lot?
That was their quarterback.
No, they're players wise.
Oh, player wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I mean, he might be on somebody's roster, right? I'm just saying.
The love machine.
I'm just saying.
There's-
You mean
there's-
on the
there's
practice
upcoming-
squad?
But don't forget,
This
favorite player.
upcoming season is going to be like one of the.
That's right, y'all's favorite player.
His
Can-
favorite player. I'm sorry, DJ. Go ahead, man.
Can you? Oh no, I was saying that this season is going to be an unpredictable season because
Oh, yeah.
you got to think about it. It was eight teams in both leagues, and they condensed both sides, both conferences, with players from the teams that didn't make it. So all of the teams are stacked. I don't understand where the odds are coming from. But if it was me, and I'm looking at it from the outside, looking in, the first thing I'm gonna look at as a football fan is coaching and the staff. We have the most experience in the whole league and the coaching staff. So I don't understand how I don't understand how we ate. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you can go off last season, but if you think about it, all of the players that was on our offense, majority of the players that were on offense, not back. You know what I'm saying? So I think we got, me personally, like as a football fan, I think we have arguably the best receiving core in the league. And ain't nobody even talking about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got guys that have NFL experience. So
Talk about it.
And we have a coach, like I said, a coach with the most NFL experience. Like we have guys that played on the highest level. But again, if y'all into betting, hey, I'm telling y'all, at least put some money on them. I'm telling you, because they're gonna shock the world for sure. They're gonna shock the world.
He said the world, y'all.
Hey, Jackie, what are your thoughts on our record?
You really want me to go there?
Go there.
I mean, from last year, well, you already know how I feel about Coach already. So, I mean, I agree with DJ.
On his way to the basement.
No, Jackie. We want your opinion, Jackie. What do you think, Jackie?
On what? Like,
what's our record? Where are we going to wind up?
She already told us.
I said it. What do you mean?
Did you?
I said it don't matter who we play in the championship.
Okay.
That's what I think.
You just copied me. But she said it.
Wow. That's instigating, bro.
That's instigating.
Hardcore.
That is instigating. That's instigating.
You know what happens when you instigate with me? You do not win.
Yep. You get wrecked.
So I got a question for you guys.
He catches on. I'm telling you, man. It's the
Very well
greatest thing
trained.
ever.
Are you guys going to be making predictions throughout the season for other games and keeping track of that?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone but Arlington.
Absolutely. I will.
Honestly, we probably won't. We'll probably dabble in it, but keeping track. I mean, we'll have to keep track if we want to see how like what we're going to be up against. But we mainly stick to the Brahmas. Like what we're coming up against. Really, that's really what we keep it about.
Yeah.
But I think we'll still dabble because we need to know what's going on with all the other teams, anyways. I mean, who are we going to play in the championship? I would like to know what their record is.
Yeah, like last year with the writers group that I was in, we did the same thing. We kept track of wins and losses and stuff like that. But I could never.
Oh, we have a writer.
Brahmas. Yeah, I wrote for Ambush last year, and myself, Matt, Jesse Dice, and Drew Wells are all credentialed media that covered all these teams last year for Ambush. But what I was going to say is, we were forced to pick, every game. And I had to pick the Brahmas, but, I can't pick against my team. But, our record wasn't that great. And I think that was the difference between me and being top 2 or top 3 for picks. But, you can't pick against your team, right?
No,
Absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying. We're 10-0. We're winning the championship, and then we will be the first UFL dynasty. After we win 5 or 6 straight UFL champions, then the NFL is going to come knocking on our door, and they're going to want us to join the league.
he manifesting it.
Now, I got a question for everybody here. Who's going to be the new Orlando?
Ooh.
Besides the Renegades, of course.
You're gonna say that?
Memphis.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do it. What's their saying? How do they do it? That's what
No,
I'm
soft spot for the show boats. I mean, I'm a Navy guy, so I love boats. So I have a soft spot for them.
You're gonna hate.
but
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. I'm an Army guy.
Sure.
But
Yes,
but you can't have
Thank
one
you.
of the Navy boats on the river in Memphis.
Right, that's true.
And so they want, and plus they don't like your kind of boats. They want yachts. So you wouldn't even be welcome in you wouldn't be welcome in their club anyway. So
Talking about join a yacht club. What?
That's the only way I can find out about.
You know what? Those the boats that
that sink when they hit too soft,
shallow
water.
No. Those are little local little cruise boats that go around a little river for like an hour and come back. Come back in for an hour.
Brian, what was that one? The Aransas Princess, the gambling boat.
Yes.
Those are ones that's in Florida that you get on a boat for like an hour and a half, drive over the water, over the water, gamble a little bit, and then come back. They don't do nothing. They don't do nothing special. Nothing special.
No, well, they got them in here because you got to go into international water just to be able to gamble.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, I mean, anything 3 miles out, you may as well just call it international waters in Texas, anyways. Because we certainly don't want to claim that disgusting brown water. It's bad.
That Galveston water will have you growing 6 arms. Hence why they have the Houston Roughnecks. Is all about that. I mean, you blame them. I mean, they're the Roughnecks. They're always drilling for stuff, and that's why the water's all dirty. They're putting all their chemicals out there. So thanks a lot, Houston.
The swamp water.
Drill. That's why you have a green arm growing out of your people that live out there.
And all those Arlington people flushing their toilets and it going out right into the Gulf there too, via Houston. So
and ain't nothing touching San Antonio, huh?
No.
They don't.
Beautiful river.
That's why they have a direct the I-45 right there to go from Dallas to Houston. So that way, all the crap from Dallas can go to Houston.
Oh, we got showboat. We got showboat.
What was that? Was that a sound effect?
That was a little rim shot there for you guys.
Hey, we got showboats. It's on a Riverwalk. The little boats that be on the Riverwalk. We got those.
Oh yeah. We got showboats in San Antonio.
We got showboats.
Yeah, I memorized the tour that they give you, but I mean, yeah,
it's showing the Riverwalk, everything down there. The showboat.
Justin does make a good point there. Just like DJ said, I mean, we're a lot of us are hometown homers. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
But there is so much unknown. There are so many different configurations with 16 teams being condensed down to 8. having Wade move over from Houston to San Antonio and eliminate, Hines Ward from the picture, and half the other coaches that weren't really getting it done. This is a completely different season than any of the other seasons that the USFL had or the XFL has had, right? This is going to be just an unknown free-for-all, and we certainly hope, because we're putting money down on it, right? We're putting our money where our mouth is, just like Jorge did last year, right? We certainly hope that the Brahmas take it.
So y'all can pay out.
To
be part of it.
Honestly, I think whoever is making predictions and these bet lines, they're about as knowledgeable about this as they are trying to predict who's going to win the college football playoff when they expand the system in 2 seasons. It makes about as much sense as that. Nobody knows because it's so much unknown about it.
We just know all the teams are stacked. That's all we know.
Minus
all teams are stacked.
Maybe they're trying to create some action there. Getting the betting moving. Hey, how many of us would take a $10 or $100 flyer with those numbers?
I will.
I'm gonna take $100.
I am. I think we all betting. I'll take that.
Hold on.
Oh, everybody but Jackie.
Just so you know, for any Texas state regulators out there, we are not betting in the state of Texas. Just full disclosure. Don't arrest me.
There are some sites you can bet on, though. There are some sites.
Not if you're in Texas. If your location is set in Texas,
you can.
He's from.
No, I don't listen. I don't use a VPN. It's real app. You can bet with real apps.
Yeah. It's called the Texas Lottery. Go ahead and bet on that.
You can use Prize Picks.
Look, none of that matters. BD is actually going to be taking care of that for us when he's out of town this next week. I'm not going to disclose where he's going at, but wherever he's going, that betting is legal, and he's got it covered for us.
Hold up. Y'all didn't know that you could use Prize Picks in Texas?
You can't gamble in Texas. It is against the law, sir.
Go to the. Oh my goodness! See,
unless you're on federal land.
Where are my shades? Because this is on their site. It says Texas on there. You can bet in Texas on Prize Picks.
All right, when you get audited,
please, Jackie,
come talk
Jackie, to us. Look it up, Jackie, and share it on here.
Hey, look.
Another case where nobody listened to me.
Hold on.
You can't use FanDuel. You can't use DraftKings. But you can use Prize Picks.
And they can also use handcuffs on you for using Prize Picks.
Jackie, do the honors. Jackie, do the honors.
I'm looking at
Real quick. Some of our viewers have not watched your podcast before, have no idea what the context of the sunglasses are. Y'all could explain that real quickly to us.
Oh my god.
No, let me explain, because those are my shades. Those are the I told you so shades.
No, I don't wear them shades.
I done wore them multiple times because I'm the youngest on the podcast and nobody wants to listen to me. So
by 2 months.
Yeah.
It don't matter. I'm the youngest.
Which I think is hilarious.
Surprised like it too.
I've been watching you guys. I very rarely see DJ, but he's actually probably the person I've spoke to the most in real life. And y'all need to let him talk. Let him talk.
They let me talk. They just wrong. They don't let me be right. That's all.
Okay, he is right because it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm looking
now,
at
are y'all gonna listen to me
now? Looking at the map right now.
Put those on, DJ.
Right here. Picks. I use Flip. I've used Underdog.
He uses the Italian Mafia. He uses the bookie.
Look, also wait, let me talk. Bovado, you can use it.
Is that the guy who hangs out behind Fred's Fish Fry on Marbach?
Yes, it is.
Jackie, I don't have my shades right now. I'll put them on right now. But I thank you. I appreciate you.
I got you.
Thank you. I'm not a debater. I just when I know I'm right, I know I'm right. They like to tell me that I'm wrong. It's always the older people that never give the young people any type of.
Who you trying to tell?
Not you, Jackie. Not you.
Who are these older people you talking about?
All the old people with the gray hairs and their beards.
We get our gray hairs from kids like you, man.
Yeah.
For telling kids like me that they wrong and they we be right.
Y'all trying to take over. Poor
I'm
RJ.
pretty-
Y'all need to stop.
I know.
Somebody
We gotta
have
do that now.
RJ.
We gotta do that on our
Forgive these
podcast.
kids.
We on somebody else's podcast. Hey, we gotta act right.
Why would we
little
ever
late
act
for that,
right?
DJ?
Y'all are good. You guys are all
gotta
good.
Rein them in.
Mike, you have any other questions for our esteemed guests before we let them go and switch off to the IFL?
No questions, but I do have 2 clarifications.
Right.
One was about my favorite podcast, because I think you guys mentioned saying that Mike's favorite podcast is the one he's watching or something like that. When I first started, getting into the UFL, which is then the XFL, I was looking at different podcasts and I couldn't find one that I really liked. And obviously I was looking for the Brahmas, and I stumbled onto Horns Forward, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Every single person on that panel knows about football. They're not carrying anybody, and they all have valid opinions, and they're all different, and that's what makes it interesting. Like, I might agree with Jay on one thing, but totally disagree with him on another, and still have respect for him. And me and BD,
Mike, I gotta know if we cool. I gotta know if we on good terms, right?
Oh yeah.
Did you see the debate episode?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Who side are you on? Mike, answer. Take your time.
Yeah, mute.
Oh, he mute.
Oh, that was on purpose, man.
What?
That was
getting back to it.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
Smooth.
Oh,
Very nice, man. That was bravo.
well played.
That was some good acting.
I was like, dang.
So Horns Forward is your first favorite podcast. What's the second one?
So to clarify that one, Horns Forward is my favorite Brahmas podcast. It is my second favorite overall podcast next to UFL Insider. I got to go with that. I got to be a homer for that. But, I was a fan of your guys for a long, long time before I even joined. So,
thank you.
I much appreciated and much respect. Thank you for coming on. The last thing is kind of an apology. If you saw the last Horns Forward podcast, I got to apologize for a comment that I made in the chat. It didn't go public, and I don't think it was that bad. I thought it was kind of funny. But
hold on. What was it?
Jorge, I am sorry for putting you on the spot and apologize for my comment.
Oh no,
you have to go back and watch it.
I've been called. Look,
I've been some with the underwears, right?
With the spicy leg on the front,
bro.
It's all good. We had fun, man. One thing about us, we don't take none of that serious, man. We have fun, we joke. Man. It's all good.
If you want to apologize for something, is for not having the no sign on that Renegade next to you. Like, that's what you should apologize for.
dang!
Wow.
Hey, you know what? I noticed that all the teams are behind you, and that one just sticks out the most. That's crazy, right?
I've got to resize it because they're supposed to be Brahmas, Roughnecks.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You keep it like that.
Frisco, Renegades.
Yeah, I knew it. This guy likes the Renegades down here.
No, I don't.
Gunslingers
I know it gets on Jorge nerves, so I only do it on purpose, man.
Gunslingers here and Corpus Christi Tritons down here. I got to resize it. I'll worry about it later.
You could just put the no sign and it fixes everything, bro. I'm just saying. That's just simple.
I got to cover all three.
Let Arlington hate you.
Teams.
Don't let Arlington hate you like they hate Jorge.
You can cover them. Just cover them with the no sign. There you go.
If you watch the show, watch for that. I'm not going to say if it happens. I'm not going to say anything. Just watch for it.
All right. I'll keep an eye out.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Greatly appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys boosting my sagging ratings here and bringing some levity and some enjoyment to the podcast. I really greatly appreciate it. And you guys are absolutely welcome anytime. I thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you guys at the games here very soon.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having us in our somewhat organized chaos. So.
Oh no, it's completely disorganized.
One quick question. RJ.
Yes, sir.
You doing a sombrero or what?
Oh no sombrero, unfortunately.
Man, you gotta give it a team, man. We all doing that.
Come on.
Right.
Well, somebody's got to be trendsetter, so we'll take care of it. You can catch up with us.
All right, I sure will.
Thank you, RJ, for having
Thank you.
us.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
guys.
Orange
Thank you,
board,
guys.
baby.
Thank you so much.
Orange
Orange
forward.
forward.
Let's go.
And I hate the Renegades.
But St. Louis is worse. I'm just saying.
Battle
Oh,
Nuggets.
goodness. Thank you, guys. All right. Well, that was the guys from the Horns 4 podcast. An absolute treat and a very special episode here with them. I greatly enjoyed them. They were an absolute blast. And if you guys want more of that, because that was just a little teeny tiny taste of what they bring. So if you want more of that, check them out at the Horns 4 podcast. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Twitter. You
AFN.
can find them everywhere. And also the one source for all your alternative football, alternativefootballnetwork.com. All right. So our next guest is a very special guest. He is AFN's own Brady Ray. And he is here to talk about the IFL. Thank you very much, Brady, for joining us. I greatly appreciate your time.
Thank you, RJ. I'm glad to be here, bud. Finally see you face to face.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's an absolute treat. And
What
thank
about
you
me?
so much for taking your time out to talk a little IFL.
Hey, Mike. I'm sorry, bud. I've seen you before.
Thanks, man. I was just giving you a hard time.
All right. So Brady, the IFL has already kicked off. They completed week 1 last weekend and are about ready to start week 2 this weekend. So what are your initial thoughts on week 1 of the IFL?
Well, initially I was going to pick the road teams to be the underdogs, but ended up going with the home teams, and it bit me in the butt. Very exciting, though. Going through the numbers, though, Shady Network had posted that, roughly only like 2,200 from YouTube were viewing. And then Signature Network, maybe only 800. But then Caffeine TV expanded all the way out to, I think it was 245,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was just by the third quarter.
Yeah, there's an article here that AFN's partner, Shady Sports Network, published a couple days ago saying, yeah, the Caffeine TV had about 245,000 clicks on there. That's pretty impressive for indoor football.
And then that's only through 2 football games. Imagine a whole weekend, full of games, the numbers we could hit,
Yeah, absolutely. And it looked like YouTube had a steady draw of about 2,200 views on those games.
22, and then Signature Network I think ended up with like 833, something like that. So all in all, I think this weekend with 6 games, we could possibly, I'm optimistic, 500, but I would love to see 300,000 for sure, like a for certain number that we can see.
Wow, that would be awesome.
I kind of keep track of those numbers just for myself. And what I was seeing on average was, 2,000 to 3,000 viewers on YouTube, but I had no idea they were pulling those numbers on Caffeine. That's outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible, and that's great news for the league.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know the IFL just came out with their players of the week from week 1. So what are your thoughts on those players of the week?
If you don't mind, remind me who the top ones were. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So it looked like it was Alejandro Benefield, the quarterback from the Pirates. Looks like he passed for 3 touchdowns and ran for 3 more. And you had Matt Elam, the cornerback from the Massachusetts Pirates. He had 5 tackles as well as a tackle for loss. And the one guy that I was really paying attention to, because the Gunslingers are playing them here in a few weeks, was, and I'm probably going to mispronounce his first name, but Arisha McCorker, kick returner from the Wranglers, because he took 2 kickoffs to the house.
Yeah, no, spot on. And then even receiving, Northern Arizona had a hard time even getting anything going through the passing game, but he was the best one out of them, going 3 for 45 and a touchdown there. So you tack that on to 150 with 2 on return. That's week 1. The kid is obviously like wanting to show the league what he's got. I agree with that. Benefield, first half was horrendous for me. I really counted Massachusetts out, and gotta hand it to him for having such a resolve to come back. And then they get to come home this weekend. So against Jacksonville, which is another newcomer with your guys' San Antonio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, and I don't think McCorker, and I'm not trying to do bulletin board material here. I don't think he'll do that. He'll replicate that against San Antonio. Coach Manasseh is not going to kick to him. He's going to kick it out of bounds. He's not going to kick to him.
Yeah, especially after that little story he said last night on his Brandon show and how he would purposely kick away from Kali Rashad when Manasseh was playing against his gunslingers, and he was like, "Yeah, I kicked against the stands all the time." So yeah, maybe McCorker won't have that well of a return game against the gunslingers, but yeah, he was looking pretty unstoppable there for a minute.
Yeah, no, and then Arizona's offense was just, they were consistent, good all around, even with Shannon Brooks with 60 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. But then you got Dalton Sneed hitting 8 for 15, 114 yards, 3 touchdowns. All in all, just a good, well-oiled machine the whole way through and through. I liked what I seen from Joshua Jones from Northern Arizona, mostly in the run game. Passing, he was flustered the entire night. Couldn't get anything going. But his run game, it was 8 rushes for 37 yards. One of the better averages through the week out of all games. So just a positive focal point for those guys moving forward.
So you watched the Green Bay Massachusetts game, I'm assuming. Did you watch that live?
Yes, no, I was watching it live, and then third quarter I went to the bathroom, and then by the time I got back, it was a whole different ball game. So,
so was it because the broadcast quality seemed to be very, let's say, unsatisfactory? I thought it was me. I was resetting my TV. I was unplugging my internet. I was like, is it me or am I stroking out? Because it was just very choppy. And then apparently everybody was experiencing that problem. Did you have the same problem?
Yes, no, just like you, restarted my phone, connected the Wi-Fi multiple times, just double checking, and then I went with it, just turned it down a little bit, because the choppiness was just going in one ear and then next ear, and then it's just too much to handle. But overall, to me, it didn't affect the view of the game itself, though. That was an exciting game through and through. An audio issue on week 1 is the least of my worries as far as the broadcast goes. And compared to the NAL broadcast, it's just like tenfold, way better. So very impressed with it, even with the audio issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that, it's week 1, so I can kind of give them a pass for that. And I'm sure they'll work out the kinks as the season goes on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the Gunslingers start their season soon against the San Diego Strike Force. So can you give us a little sneak peek into what you think of that matchup and what should the Gunslingers be looking out for?
Well, out of the entire side of the conference that you're in, the one team that I would be worried about is San Diego. But lucky for you, you get first look at them. Nate Diaz coming in there last half of last year really turned it around. He was chucking the ball left and right. He's led the league in passing. He's a veteran with a absolute cannon. And given a full offseason and a full year with this team, I think San Diego could possibly surprise a lot of people. Bay Area is another one. But and then obviously we've seen Arizona. So San Antonio, though, I know that, you went 8-4 last year, correct?
Yes, I believe
but
so.
with that, but that's without Manas. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely going to be a whole different program just through like the podcasts I've watched alongside you guys like online. He's just got a different mentality that he's bringing in. Very, I wouldn't say militant, but he's just very focused, very serious. Winning is the absolute must. He's going to. I believe you guys are going to be in the playoffs. I can't say much about championships. There's still a couple of good teams in there that I think you have to go through to prove yourself. But all in all, Castronova coming over for you guys and Zach Brown as well.
Mm-hmm.
Two major players on both offense and defense. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very good team. And, I watch his show all the time, and I walk out of that show feeling like running through a brick wall because he's got me motivated, and I'm not even on the team.
Right. No, he's serious, and I think I've popped in a couple questions that he's replied to, and you can't shake his faith, man. He is what he says, what he means. He's not going to go against it,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that.
Yeah, he really fits into San Antonio and the culture and Texas in general. He's that guy who he doesn't have to say a whole lot, but you're going to hang on every word. You're going to pay attention to what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And he also is not afraid to be warm to his players outside of the game. Put an arm around and talk to him. But between those lines, it's like, hey, this is what we got to do. This is our expectations. We got to do it. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the proven track record too.
Yeah.
So I mean, he backs it up.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Are there any concerns you guys have for that game?
Well, I mean, it is our very first game of the season. We're coming off of 2 straight bye weeks, and San Diego would have played. I think they're playing Northern Arizona week 1, so they would have kind of knock the rust off and stuff. I really don't have any concerns. I think we will be very well prepared. We have a very, very experienced coaching staff. I mean, our coaches, almost all of them have head coaching experience or prior head coaches. And we've had several of them play in the NFL. We have players that have played in the IFL, the NAL, the AFL. So, I mean, we got a very experienced and well-rounded team. So, yeah, I really don't have any concerns at all.
As far as you and the other newcomer, who do you think will get the who will be the better of the two this year?
Oh, well, I have to go with the Gunslingers, of course. I mean, I think it's going to be Gunslingers and Sharks in the championship.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
And of course, I have the Gunslingers nabbing them, collecting that bounty, and taking the hardware home and bringing it a championship to San Antonio.
Man, that would be nuts. Top that with the Brahmas championship.
That's right. Yeah. We're drinking the San Antonio Kool-Aid over here.
Yeah, no, San Antonio's having a moment right now.
Yeah. I mean, we got 2 professional football teams that are starting their first year in new leagues, and the new UFL for the Brahmas and the IFL, which we all know is not a new league, but it's new for the Gunslingers. And yeah, it's going to be a year of first, and we're going to be trailblazing this year.
Yeah, no, that's what I love about y'all's fan base, or just meeting through you guys. Like, I can just tell, like, just through the few that I know, if you're as passionate as you are, like, as a whole at the stadium, it's got to be an absolute unit. So that's something I wish Birmingham would get around to on the other side of things. But
well, I mean, you guys got the Stallions, right? And their fan base is, well, it's the Stallions fan base. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's a hard sell. It's a hard sell for them. College football reigns supreme around here.
Right. Yeah, I've heard it's nothing official, but I've been hearing some grumblings on the interwebs that the Stallions are possibly having problems selling tickets, and they're only selling on one side of the field. Like I said, this is unofficial, but it's just something I've seen. I thought was very interesting.
Since I've gotten back, I've went through Twitter mainly, and I've seen, there's been I would say trouble. It's just like I said, getting the word out. A lot of people around where I live, they have no idea who the Stallions are. So it's been an ongoing fight, just even spreading the word locally. So I can only imagine in Birmingham, but I don't know. They have a lot of community events with all the other semi-pro and/or pro teams over there. So not sure the issue right now.
I got a question, Brady. What is the local TV market like in general? And what I mean by that, like here in San Antonio, there's like 4 TV networks that are local that offer different kind of coverages. How many TV stations do you have out down there?
I would doubt 4, maybe 2.
Okay, and the reason why I'm wondering is like because I know like the Gunslingers, they've gone on a media tour. They've hit all these morning shows. Is Birmingham not doing that, or?
We'll see. Like around here, you don't see anything. At least on our televisions, like nothing at all. So I'm not sure. Well, I'm still I'm a few hours away from them.
Okay. Just wonder if you could give us any insight.
Maybe if I get up in there. I'm trying to get there in April for their first home game, hopefully. So most everybody will be in Tuscaloosa watching the spring A-Day game. So it should be pretty easy to get up in there.
Yeah, and what I'm hoping with this merger throwing everything out of whack, honestly, I am looking forward to next offseason more than anything. Because by that time, there's not going to be merger this, team that, players going here, players going. It's going to be more settled and more routine, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Because that's what these leagues need is consistency, settle down, and you want to be able to build a fan base because we want to know the team's going to be there next season. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to this season, but I'm really looking forward to the next off season because that's where you start to build that consistency. And hopefully they'll adjust some of these schedules because, these facilities, they have their own calendars to fill, for events. They're people who run these facilities have got to make sure that this weekend's full, this weekend's full, this weekend's full. And I think because of getting thrown off because of the merger, that might have led to some dates being not quite perfect. And hopefully they'll get that nailed down next year because they'll know what teams exist. These teams will all have leases in existing stadiums already, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, that also I was thinking might be a big problem with our attendance is Birmingham used to be the hub. That's where everything used to happen. So I could see where, they're not in town as often. It's hard. People just don't notice that they're around still. So.
Last year in the XFL, they would fly the team in a day or two early and do events around town to raise awareness.
Which to me, that's still kind of premature. 2 days notice for a lot of folks,
Well, I mean, I think they noticed it. They advertised it in advance, but yeah, I mean, that prior day to kick off, they could go to do events at schools or what have you,
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Now I kind of wonder because there's talks about in about 5 years or so that there's possibility that these UFL teams will be sold to individual owners. And let's say someone here in San Antonio was to buy the Brahmas. Would that mean that they would be training here in San Antonio and have their facilities and their practices? Because if so, I think that's going to bring a lot more awareness and a lot more attention to the team because Mike, you and I were at the town hall when Moose was talking about, just come out to Arlington and watch a practice. And like, well, what kind of Joe Bag of Donuts out there is going to be able to take off on their day off to drive all the way to Arlington to watch a practice? But if they're here locally, I think that would be a lot more feasible thing to do. They'll be able to see a practice and get more involved and more invested in the team.
Definitely. Yeah. And that kind of segues into the Gunslingers portion of this, of course, because I got my Gunslingers gear, whose house? Our house.
Right, our house.
This week they were having an open practice. Mm-hmm. It didn't cost anything. You could be right there on the field and you can hear the players. You're right next to the players. last night we attended the branded podcast, RJ and I stayed in San Antonio and went to the Gunslingers facility to witness practice. Unfortunately, the weather is not great out here right now, so they canceled the practice. But I turned that into a positive. I was able to get me a little mini tour of the facilities, and I was highly, highly impressed. One of the things that I love is they have an actual brick and mortar storefront you can go into and get your gear. You can go into there and get your season tickets. You don't have to go online. You can actually talk to a human being and interact with them. And Weston Coln, Coln, is my season ticket rep. He's a great guy, and like I said, I want to talk to an individual. So we've got a little bit of a relationship going, and he showed me around the facility. It's a brand new facility they built purposefully for this team, and they have the old field from Freeman Coliseum from last season actually outside and into the ground where they can practice, 24/7, anytime they want. They have their own facility. They have their own weight room. They have facilities to come and just chill and hang out, and they will be having, I believe on the 28th of this month, next Thursday, for season ticket holders, a tour of this facility. You get to see it for yourself. So I highly recommend that if you get the chance. It'll probably be during the day on a Thursday. So hoping they have a good turnout. They might do it again I think they've got another event on a weekend coming up, but I don't want to speak to that yet. But it's an incredible new facility for these guys. Mm-hmm. And from what I understand, it's unlike anything in the IFL, and it'll be hopefully the benchmark and the standard coming up pretty soon here.
Yeah. And I think hopefully other IFL teams will see what the facility looks like, the raves that the players are saying about it, and they'll be like, hey, we want to do the same thing. And then if they do that, it's just going to make the league as a whole better and better, because now you're going to have better quality facilities, players are going to have better morale, and it's going to be an attraction to bring players into that team.
Exactly. I want to go play for Coach Manas in San Antonio because I know about their facilities and I know Coach Manas. That's where I want to go.
Yes, exactly.
Also, like having their own branded, like with their brand on the facilities,
Mm-hmm.
instead of sharing facilities or, some college facility that they have to borrow for a short amount of time, that makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were talking about a centralized location to go work out, to eat, and to practice. Where in other cities, they may not have their own facility because, it's not cheap to build your own facility. So they would go work out at a gym over here on this other side of town. Then they would go to the other side of town to get physical therapy. Then they would come over to another side of town to go practice. Whereas here, they've got everything centralized. You can go shoot pool. You can go hang out, probably get on the sticks, shoot some hoops. But they were saying that after the first day of practice, not a lot of people were shooting hoops because their legs were just dead.
So Brady, what's your expectations for the IFL as a whole this season? What are some things that you're really looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to see how Iowa responds to last year. Abysmal year last year. DJP's coming back. So we'll get to see this Friday or this Saturday how they do. But overall, it'd be interesting to see how Dalton Sneed plays with Arizona, see if he can repeat the same success and take them all the way, or if DeQuan Neal picks up Bay Area right where they left off and, it goes for a repeat. I see San Antonio, Jacksonville being highly competitive, and really it's going to reshape the league. You're going to see some teams move up and down a lot differently than they were last year. The pool of talent as well is just, to me, it's expanded, even though the UFL came together. So that's went from 16 to 8, kind of dispersed everyone around. I don't know. I think it's going to be the best competitive season we've seen in a while. I don't have a solid pick for the championship though.
Okay. All right. So, speaking of like merging with the UFL, merging down to 8 teams, Have you been tracking the NAL and what's going on with that league?
That's one that I know very little. I get in there and I see a couple teams I do like, but it seems like they keep dropping, left and right. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd like to see if they do fold. There's a couple teams that I would like to see with the IFL next year.
Yeah, me too.
I'd really like to see the East Coast get expanded a little more, specifically Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they fit, and I think they're ready for it. They've competed with both San Antonio and Jacksonville, so
Sure
they're no strangers. And then let's see. I like the Idaho Horsemen though. That's a different choice, but that's the one I'd like to see as well.
Okay.
I really enjoy that kind of Northwest market.
I personally prefer the Omaha Beef. I just love that name.
Yeah, no, that's
People-
another good one as well.
People love or hate it. They either
I love
love
it.
it or they ridicule it. But I think that's kind of a cool name.
Yeah, the beef. And I love the mascot, Sirloin. I mean, I just absolutely love it. I just want to see the team just for that alone.
And then, I mean, they have appealed not only to the IFL, they have appealed probably to the AFL. Like, to me, that's very marketable. Like, if you get it up into a bigger market like that. Very funny name. Very fun name, not funny.
All right. Mike, do you have any questions for Brady before we let him go?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, Brady, do you have any closing thoughts? Some final salvos before we send you off?
No, unless you got any picks for who you think might win this weekend, IFL wise.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, I think Duke is going to beat San Diego. And let's see here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling that, but I've been kind of flip-flopping because I know San Diego they have never won their home opener, which is against the Gunslingers the following week. So I'm like, well, maybe they'll beat Duke and then turn around and lose to us. So that's, now that I'm kind of thinking about it out loud, that's what I'm going. Yeah, I think San Diego's going to win, and then they'll lose to us next week.
That's devious, RJ.
But other than that, let's see.
What about Quad City versus Sioux Fall?
Oh, I'm taking Quad City.
Me too. Okay,
I got to go with Quad City.
Yeah.
Iowa, Green Bay. Well, I'll talk about them. Green Bay, I was terrified of, especially after the first half. They looked very strong. But that departure from greatness in the second half, I don't know. Even at home, I think Iowa's got a shot, and it's a brand new stinking team. A lot of different receivers. DJP can't go. Kyle King, I'm rooting for him. That's my guy to come in, and so I'm excited. Lots of new faces. I'm expecting a hard-earned effort for sure.
And then, of course, you got Frisco, which we play 3 times, and they're supposed to be one of the best teams in the league, and they're playing Tulsa, which unfortunately had the worst record last year, but it was their first year. So
right. Well,
Tulsa looks like they've improved quite a bit, though, from what I've heard.
Yeah, no, but going up against TJ Edwards.
Yeah.
Little different story, you know.
Yeah, and I was actually hoping that TJ would make the Brahmas. I know that he signed with them and didn't make the teams, but I was paying attention to his career very closely after he signed, and so I went back and watched all of his games, and yeah, that guy was an absolute beast last year.
He signed so late. I wonder if he's in shape. He's one of the later signed because he was still shopping himself around a little bit. So I wonder. So depends on which TJ we get. But I've got Frisco as well there.
Okay.
And then it's Vegas and Arizona.
Arizona, yes. Vegas is probably one of the worst teams. A lot of people are saying so, and Arizona has historically been good.
I haven't seen much traction from them all off season, like any major signings or signings for that matter. So and Arizona looked consistent the whole way through. I want to say Dalton Sneed got a little banged up, but he should be back, and I expect more of the same from him. And Shannon Brooks, it's just a 50. It's run pass. They're doing both great.
Right.
They've got options. Let's put it that way to play around.
And then we have the Sharks and the Pirates, and boy, those are two heavyweight teams because the Pirates have had a good team since forever, and Jacksonville was a very good team in the NAL, so that should be a pretty good matchup.
And then Massachusetts on their new arena in Lowell. Got the new turf rolled out, the Smurf turf. So
wait, I thought Boise State had a trademark on the blue turf. Or is that only for 100-yard fields?
Well, yeah, it was half off, Mike. They bought it. But no, I'm expecting Jacksonville to be competitive. It depends which Massachusetts we get. If we get second half Massachusetts defense, Benefield did great the entire time, only one interception. So really, you can't fault the offense. It depends on that defense. Are they going to play 4 quarters or 2? So Jacksonville, we'll see. So I expect that to be a high scoring, very close in.
And then our last game we wanted to save for later, the Barnstormers and the Blizzard.
I will say Iowa, but my brain says Green Bay, my heart says Iowa. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't root for Green Bay. I'm a Minnesota guy, so I cannot root for anything out of Green Bay. Absolutely not. Refuse.
Yeah.
So,
No.
Iowa all the way.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, that was a good little prediction segment. We should have wrote those down and see how accurate we were.
I've got mine. I had mine in the notes on my phone. I don't have them written down, but I do have my picks.
Nice.
I can remember who's who.
All right. Excellent.
All right.
Well, thank you again, Brady, for coming on the show. I greatly appreciate your insight and your wisdom in the IFL, and I look forward to having you on our show more as the season goes on and getting your thoughts and opinions on the IFL as a whole and teaching us more about it. Because honestly, I don't know much about the IFL. I never followed it until now, and I'm looking forward to having someone like you to be able to teach me.
The goal is
teach us.
Yes.
One day at a time. One day at a time.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, Brady. Thank you very much for joining. I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Bye, RJ. Bye, Mike.
Right. Bye.
See you guys.
All right, and that was Brady Ray. He is a proud partner of the Alternative Football Network. So again, check out that website for all his content. You can, of course, find him on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitter.
On Twitter, he'll go by. I don't want to do Twitter. I can't remember what it is. He's gonna get mad at me. I couldn't remember because I tried to tag him the other day. But I know on Facebook he's widely known as Overtime Underdog.
That's right.
And his page is just blowing up. People love that stuff.
Yes. Great guy. Great information. Definitely need to check it out.
I think it's nothing but brow at twitter.com.
All right. Well, Micah, so we're about ready to wrap up this episode. Just have one announcement for our next show. It's going to be the show before the season starts. So we are getting very close, and I think it's going to be a really good episode. We'll be talking about the Brahmas' first game, and we'll be talking about the Gunslingers' first game, and maybe we can make a little predictions and anybody who wants to join in, shoot me an email at brahmabulletin@gmail.com or send me a direct message on Facebook and Twitter, all that stuff. Reach out to Mike as well too, and we can pick someone. And if they can beat our predictions, hey, maybe there'll be a free ticket to a Brahmas or a Gunslinger game in for you. What do you think about that, Mike?
I thought you just pulled my trick. I couldn't hear you for a second there.
Oh no!
I was like, wait, is he doing me?
Oh no!
What
love live stuff, right?
Yeah. What was that last part?
I was just saying that anybody who wants to make predictions that can join the show can send us messages, and if anybody beats our predictions, we'll give away a free ticket to an upcoming Brahmas or a Gunslingers game.
Definitely, we can definitely do that.
So it should be really fun. I'm super excited. I mean, it's been way too long for the season to get here, and we're so close, but it feels so far away.
Yeah, I mean, we're right there, and I'm super excited about the Brahmas, but I'm really even more excited about the Gunslingers. The Racklers and the Steubings have done tremendous things for that franchise and that organization, and they have the right people in their management. The office people, coaches. I mean, Coach Menace is basically like Bill Parcells of the indoor league. He's got 3 or 4 coaches on his staff that were head coaches and could be head coaches, and the other guys probably will be head coaches down the road. They brought in a lot of their guys as far as players, and if you remember, like Bill Parcells, that's a Parcells guy. Dan Campbell in Detroit, he's a Parcells guy. So they brought in a lot of the guys who already know, already believe, and are ready to go and do this because some of them have already done it before. Right. So I am super excited for the Gunslingers.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Well, guys, I think that's it for this episode. I greatly appreciate everybody watching and for commenting and for sharing the love. We both greatly appreciate it. And if you have not done so already, please check out alternativefootballnetwork.com. That is alternativefootballnetwork.com. Check it out there. We have all kinds of great partners and contributors. We have original articles. We have it all. We are your one-stop shop for everything alternative football, whether that's IFL, the AFL, the NAL, the UFL, even the CFL. And there's going to be some new stuff out there. So always keep your eyes out for it because there's new stuff added there every day. All right, Mike. Well, I think that's it. So we'll say goodnight. And for those, let's keep our horns forward and our guns up.
I can't do the both.
That's right. Can't do both.
I was gonna do this. Yeah, that's my compromise.
I can't quite do it either.
Horns up.
All right, guys. We'll see
Guns
you next
forward.
time. Have a great night.
Good night, everybody.